Hey, Steve Stine from Guitar Zoom here. Thank you so much for joining me. I was actually just kind of practicing and I came up with an idea that might be fun for you to try. If you're into sequences and speed picking and that sort of thing, I want to give you 3 different approaches to think about that might benefit you in the way that you visualize your fretboard. So go ahead and get tuned up, and when you're ready, let's get started. And do me a favor, if you like this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start off in being an E minor, G major, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a single string sequence. And what I want to do is I just want to show you how I visualize expanding basic ideas to become a bit more elaborate around the fretboard. So let's say, for instance, I took this, all right? I'm just going to start by playing one string, and I'm going to do this. All right? Now, again, the speed is irrelevant. It's whatever you want to do, but when we play guitar, oftentimes we think in terms of pentatonic and diatonic and, closed position and, intervallic movements or arpeggios or different things like that. So what I'm doing right now is really thinking about just playing sequentially. I'm not overlapping anything or playing intervallically or anything like that. I'm playing straight up the scale. Okay, so as I play this, that's all I'm doing. Now, I could do this anywhere on the guitar in any key that I choose, right? If I want it to be down here, I could do it there, or, on the second string. Whatever is comfortable for you, whatever you visualize, whatever key that you tend to practice in. So that's the first idea, is that we can move on a single string horizontally. So let's add a second string to this, and then we start getting that group of 6 that oftentimes we kind of practice to develop our speed. So what I'm going to do is take this right here, and I'm going to expand it out to a group of 6. So I'm playing 7, 8, 10 twice. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up and play the next group of notes, which is 8, 10, and 12. Then I'm going to move up again and play the next group, which would be 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 14. And I'm just staying true to the G major or E minor scale here, depending on how you're looking at it. Then I move up, play 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15. And then move up again, play 13, 15, 17, 14, 15, 17. And then end with 15, 17, 19 on both strings. So I have... Okay, and again, at whatever speed is comfortable for you. All right. So that's the first expansion, is being able to play multiple strings. In this case, I'm playing 2 strings. But now let's take this idea and let's start morphing it a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is, instead of playing them all straight, which I like, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one forward, and then the next one I'm going to play backward like this. So I'm creating like a group of 12 notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it makes for really good practice just playing a group like that over and over and over, right? But I'm going to keep going and use the same setup that I just played you, but I'm going forward, then backward, then forward, then backward, and so on. Now, when I get to the note that I'm looking for, okay, which in this case is the 19th fret, now, I could go to that in any number of ways. I'm just trying to give you some creative ideas, so you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but think about this. When I want to get to this note, either I'm coming from here, and I'm sliding up to my desired end note, okay? Or maybe I'm coming from down here, and I'm ending, right? So I'm playing 15, 17, 19, with whatever fingers are comfortable for you. Okay, so I could approach this from either one of those angles. So as I'm playing this, that's the approach that I'm taking. I'm moving up, okay, from the prior position. But depending on how you play this, you might approach that note, that 19th fret, from either one of those angles, from forward or from below coming forward like that. All right, so now we've taken a single string, we've made a group of 2 strings, and then we played it forward, and then we played a group of 12 notes wrapping around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same idea and I'm just going to start expanding it a little bit. So let's say instead of starting on this 7th fret, what I want to do is I want to make this pattern a little bit longer. Okay, now needless to say, I could keep going down these 2 strings like this and make it as long as I want. But instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this way. So now let's go ahead and start at the 5th fret of the 4th string, and I'm going to play 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9 here. And then I'm hitting my desired 7, 8, 10. Right? And then I could continue on, or moving up like that, right? And of course, again, I could move as far this direction as I choose. And it's always important to understand that that's half the exploration, is where do you want to go? How much of whatever it is that you're trying to do you need to expand your idea? Maybe you just need something that's really quick, so you don't need a lot of strings and, you know, a lot of frets and that sort of thing. You just want to play a kind of thing and you're done, right? And you're done. So you have to decide how much of each one that you want. So I'm just using a segment of horizontal movement, and now I've added in this small segment of vertical movement from 5, 7, and 9. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit more of that vertical movement to make it a little more, again, make my pattern a little longer, but make it a little more interesting. So what I like to do then is I might move this direction like I just showed you. And then I'm going to move up and go backward like we talked about. Okay, so now once I move back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going this direction. Okay, so obviously I can go this direction for as many strings as I choose. Well, I can come back up doing the same idea. So what I'm going to do is start on the 5th fret here of the 4th string. And I'm coming all the way back to the 7th fret of the 5th string. And then what I want to do is I want to keep going. So then what I'm going to do is move forward to the 9th fret. And I'm going to continue on. So I have 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. And then 9, 11, 12. And then I'm going to implement a single string movement like I did in the very beginning. So I just played 9, 11, 12. And then I'm going to play 11, 12, 14. To shift me to a new position. So now I've got this. Now I could keep going, but I'm going to go ahead and move up. And now I'm back in that other position that I started with. And then I'm just doing some more of those round, you know, the groups of 12 that I did. So I have... Okay. So that's the basic idea. I got to practice this a little more, but that's the basic idea, right? So I've started with a horizontal idea and I added some vertical movements toward the floor. Then I added some vertical movements toward the ceiling. And then I added some single string stuff again. And you could combine these in any way you want. If you just keep in mind what I'm doing is I'm thinking about single string movement, groups of two strings, and then I'm either moving horizontally, forward or backward, as long as I want, and then vertically up or down, right? So I could keep expanding this however I want. Let's say I decided I wanted to add some more of this idea, or like that thing right there. So I could go to the 2nd fret of the 4th string and play the 4th and 3rd strings. And then notice where I'm at now. Now I'm where I showed you before, so I could pop right up in here. Or I could do those backwards in my group of 12. And then right there, move into that. Right? In any way. Or I could just do these forward. Wherever it is I'd like to go. And of course, I started down here at the 2nd fret on the 4th and 3rd strings. I could use more of the strings up here and create more of a vertical pattern that way. So there's lots of different ways that you can approach taking some basic sequenced ideas. Now, of course, this requires some element of picking and knowledge of your fretboard and whatever key you want to play in and that sort of thing. But it's a really great way when you need to create some speedy little ideas that possibly need to be a little bit longer for whatever situation you find yourself in. Either you like it, you like the pattern that you've come up with, or maybe you're improvising a solo with a band or something, but you need something that's just a little bit longer to fill a space to make that end of the solo or whatever really dynamic. This is a really great way of being able to approach that. So hopefully this helps you. Have a great day and practice hard and stay positive, okay? And remember, please subscribe to the channel and share the video if you know anybody that might benefit from it. So take care.